I don't know Diane Keaton that well. That's a name I've heard of, but I'm not too familiar with. I mean, Annie Hall, I think she's us. Other than that, I really don't know her. She passed on last year. Lo and behold, she was in Baby Boom. Very funny, 2 thumbs up. Academy Award winner Diane Keaton is smashing, says Pauline Kael, as a high-powered career woman who inherits a baby and discovers a side of herself she never knew she had. A maternal one, co-starring Sam Shepard and James Spader. This sophisticated screwball comedy, says Rex Reed at the movies, about the pratfall and chaos of instant parenthood, will put a smile on your face again and again. J.C. Wyatt thinks she has it all together. Beautiful and talented, she's on the road to certain success. So when an adorable baby girl comes into her life from a distant cousin's will, it's J.C. who breaks out in rash. Juggling power lunches and powdered formula, she is soon forced off the fast track by a conniving colleague and a bigoted boss. But this lady won't stay down for long. She'll prove to the world that she's a woman, can have it all, and on her terms. And I'm just like, an hour and 50 minutes, yes. I really like this movie. It is just such a wacky beginning of when they hear that relatives that they met once in England 30 years ago says that she had, like, she is the only living relative. You know, I think they're going to inherit $1 million. They inherit a baby. It's just so out there, but so great at the same time. So I'm thinking, okay, so what makes this movie work? Well, it's Keaton's performance, her speeches, and the visual gags. There are visual gags in this movie, yes. For example, you know, it's like saying how she's like this, as the IMDb describes her character, a super yuppie. So, you know, it's like thinking, okay, so yeah, she's talking about like all the power and how that she's living with a person. But lo and behold, she has to go through a bunch of stuff, including giving kind of a powerful speech, I would say roughly halfway through, where she talked about her frustrating life right there in Vermont when she moved from New York down to there. Just about her frustrations at expressing, like saying, hey, I can't believe I'm flat broke and I have this damn baby that I'm taking care of. I am not cut out for this. And talking about sex and stuff like that, you know, which was certainly interesting. I mean, I guess you could technically call this a feminist movie in the right way. So, you know, she rules it, but it's not like force. It feels real and, yeah, empowering in a way, but at the same time, she's got to deal with a baby. This is just something that's never happened to her before. And at the end, it's like, you know, she's dealing with Harold Ramis, who she's not married to, but living with, and I think they're a couple. And then she goes down, so it's like, yeah, she puts in a good, commanding performance, which I like, even when she's making some applesauce, which I'll get into. But there's also the visual gags here. For example, when she inherits, like, when her and Harold have sex, is like, when they make love, it lasts 3 minutes, or was it 5? And he says, that was fantastic. Because they're so career focused, you know, working 12, 14 hours. And then when she's trying to find the right diaper size, you know, they go based off of ways like saying, hey, here's this, and this. So what does she do to determine the baby's weight? Puts her on a supermarket scale you would use for like bananas, apples, and stuff like that. Determines she weighs 23 pounds, grabs the right diapers. That was funny. And then, of course, it's like, you know, how she wants to make the applesauce, you know, that helps her become rich. He's getting some apples. She's thinking, do you think I have enough apples? And the camera zooms out, and there's just like a whole, like, multiple barrels full of them. So, we get some good laughs. And even with the, when she's talking to what she thinks is a doctor, turns out it's a veterinarian. And it's just like, hey, I'm here for my next patient. Your next patient. Lo and behold, in comes a freaking horse. They're just going, you know, it's like, of course, how a horse brays. And we even get to see a pig when she opens the door. So all the meanwhile, she's just freaking out. She doesn't know what the heck to do. So you do feel you sympathize for her. Then again, she did say that she graduated from Harvard, so she does have the super yuppie side about her. It's ultimately about her getting some, putting her expertise in a certain way that it feels a heck of a lot more wholesome, I guess you could say. Which I like, getting 60, what was it, 16 acres, or was it 60 acres of getting country baby applesauce growing. So I like that. And yeah, it's the development that she goes through is like she's at the same time she's raising this baby, and the baby is can speak in like mama, papa, and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. So I guess thematically, this movie is about I want to say, prejudice and the challenges that they're going. Because in the beginning, they described about like saying, um, how now what was that? I think what was it? 1 in 3 women are now entering the workforce rather than performing domestic duties. It was in the 1950s. I like the beginning where it kind of plays, with some industrious, happy music that actually fits well, unlike and There Will Be Blood. So I kind of like the motif going on here of the empowerment done in the right way. I also like the like finding alternative ways of how to make like find your women can find themselves footing in life when life gives them unexpected challenges, and of course some of the big how do they describe it, as bigoted and conniving colleagues that is unfortunately still prevalent nowadays. So say what you will about that. Um, this is meant to look like a Norman Rockwell. They wanted the film to look like it was a Norman Rockwell painting done in multiple ways. I don't know much about his stuff, but I think I've seen like where stark colors to stand out to add a sense of what was that, pop art and realism, if I'm not mistaken. Also look at the music video for Robert Palmer's Simply Irresistible. So I guess like that. And obviously, this all does it well. What I liked was the twins who played the daughter years later when Diane Keaton was doing a signing said, "Oh, this was a good movie. I was thinking about the twins." Looked down, looked up, and like, "Oh my goodness, it is the twins." So that was actually really wholesome, really cool. This does feel like a sitcom in a way. It's even got some like soft jazz music you'd probably hear in like Full House or Family Ties or heck even Small Wonder. So it's like, yes, this movie is funny. It has heart and it was made with effort, but like I said, it's lighthearted and with the sitcom feel. I wouldn't change anything about it because this is a good movie for 1987. Check out Baby Boo. You won't be disappointed.